Hello, it is time to go back through the November budget to see how things went. That being said, you guys know a couple weeks ago I cut my own hair in an attempt to save money, so thank you for working with me through the growing pains. Financial advice if you're trying to save money on a haircut, give yourself some grace to work through maybe your first one. Totally worth it though. I'll get there. We just gotta work through this one because oops. Okay, November. I'm really happy about how it went, actually. I was getting the numbers together earlier today, and I've surprised myself a wee bit on how well I did. Not savings-wise, but just the last few months, I feel like I've been blowing the budget for all the reasons. Gas, groceries, things, existing as a human. It's just kind of inevitable right now in economic state, but here we are. At the end, I'll probably just recap and not only see what the net worth is like for November, of course. October was an exciting month of finally being net worth positive for the first time in 20 years, so kind of a big deal. And I just want to talk about some of the changes I'll be doing to my budget overall, both the monthly spreadsheet as well as my year at a glance. But for now, let's get into the numbers. If you are new here, two normal things that I don't have on my monthly expenses are a cell phone bill or car insurance, because I pay both of those annually because it's cheaper. All right, so we always start at the top with income. I have an income goal of take-home pay $4,050 a month. That is after I've contributed to a 401k as well as an HSA. So in November, I actually brought home $4,066. My next income is my rental income. I own one rental property, and $410.25 is roughly the monthly cash flow. And as you can see from the note, that is just rent minus property management fee minus the mortgage. And then the rest is left over. If you're looking at typical cash flow of a rental property, you want to be factoring in vacancy, repairs, maintenance, things like that. You want to be setting aside some of that rent as well. I set aside 100% of it because I don't need it to live on yet, and I'm trying to save up for a down payment for property number 2. In November, we brought home $410.25 from the rental property, which means I didn't have any expenses or repairs pop up in November. YouTube, I just have a goal of making the $100 payout threshold, and for November, I got paid $204.10. That is from 2 combined months. So YouTube pays a month behind, so this is payout from September and October. And support is just direct support from you guys. There are some of you who choose out of the mind-boggling graciousness of your hearts to support me on my financial journey, and I flippin' love you guys so much. I have no goal for that, but you guys are amazing. And November for support brought in $205, which is awesome. You guys know I'm saving every penny of that as well towards my student loan savings, which we'll get more into in a minute, but I just have those broken down by Transfer Tuesdays. Next category down is my expenses. Biggest expense for most people is housing, and my rent is $15.25 a month for the last month. And that's what I paid. We're in December now, so I'm now paying $15.55 a month, which was not a bad rent increase at all. This landlord's been very great about that. Electricity, about budget $60. I paid $57.34. Pretty good. Internet, $59.99. Yeah, paid $102. My 2-year contract with Xfinity was up because I've been in this apartment 2 years now, and naturally they jacked the price up out of the introductory rate. So when I called in, they were able to give me the new deal rate again, like they always do. Something about the date that I called in, it was really close to like the closing of the billing cycle, so I did have to pay the full month amount. But I've already seen my bill for December. Yeah, the bill that I will get in December, and that one's only going to be like $32 to offset the cost difference. So it's wonky, but that's why. Next one is Mohila, which is my student loan servicer. So these are all federal student loans. Now I've been dumped on the save plan. My lowered payment is $334.96 a month, and that's exactly what I paid. Gym, $15 a month, and Netflix is $20 a month. This is where things generally get pretty variable. obviously. Food and household, I budget myself $500, which has been, what did we do last month? In October, we did good. We were like $25 under, but September was a bit of a nightmare. September, it was $100 over. So November, we did good. $490, $10 under. I'll take it. And then gas and car wash, I budget $150. I drive a lot. I like to bop around and do things because I'm trying, whatever, trying to be out there. I spent negative $4. So let me explain this. It just dawned on me that I've been kind of like not super accurately budgeting my gas budget for the last 3 or 4 months. So with my new job, part of my work is field sampling for stormwater. So I have to go to these various different facilities. When I do that, I get reimbursed mileage for that. That's always more than I actually spent on the gas. And I don't know why I haven't been factoring that in before. I don't think I even thought of it because it's not like lumped in with my paycheck. It's just a little reimbursement that's sent. I don't know. It dawned on me today and I was adding it up and I was actually reimbursed $4 more for my gas and mileage in the month of November than I actually spent on gas. Pet supplies, I budget $25. I didn't need to order them any food or litter, but I did take Piper to the vets for an exam of $66 worth. Not dollars. Invest, I try to invest $100 every month. November, I think I did FundRise, don't remember. Donate $50 a month. I always donate to an animal rescue. Savings, I had a goal of saving $400 in November. I saved $500. Spending $300. You guys know, still in our last couple months of a low buy year with a $300 spending goal for myself on like material items, I spent $289.65. What part of that was, I think part of that was this stuff? Or was that October? And then other is, I don't have a goal, but things always pop up, and this is where I've been putting experiences and stuff. So I don't have a budget for that, which probably not the best thing. I should probably, next year, $0 budget, but I spent $270.39. So as you can see from the note, I bought a flight for Christmas to go down and see my parents in Florida. It cost $350, but $200 of it came from credit card points. I have one airline credit card for Allegiant. It's a very small airline, but there's an airport like 20 minutes from me, a small one. And it's a direct flight. It's super convenient. There's certainly better travel credit cards out there, but I figured if I'm using this one airline every time, if I move, that's certainly going to change. So something to reevaluate for the future. But anyway, I bought a flight to see my parents for Christmas. Parking, $45. That was 2 separate concerts in Boston. Boston parking. Boston anything. It's like, vitamins, $80. You guys know I order those quarterly. Now, down to my debt. The only debt I have is student loans. We ended October, started November, with a lump of savings for them. So if you are new here, I am trying to save that dollar amount, $178,209, so I can save up and pay them all off. And you might be asking yourself, why are you not just paying as you go? Y'all, these student loans have been, what's the word we want to use here? A sticky point for the economy the last few years. Like, we're suddenly talking about student loans because it's a situation. And I'm happy about that. And it's obviously caused a lot of reform and restructure. It's a mess. We all know this. The SAVE program was just a band-aid to lull a bunch of people into getting to feel okay about paying their loan payments again, even though they're literally just paying money to get no decrease in your actual debt. What I'm doing is saving up in a high yield savings account on the side. I am letting that account just compound its growing interest, because even though it's only 4.6% APY in the current bank account that I'm holding it in, it's still a monthly little addition of money towards my debt payoff. that I'm not proactively having to go work for, right? We started November with $31,377 saved towards the loans. And then from support, just $204. And then the account interest was $128 and change. So that free money right there is why I'm choosing to keep my money in a high yield account and help that balance grow itself, right? Just to get me to debt freedom faster. Here's where I don't love my spreadsheet because this is just wonky, but we ended the month with $32,412, and obviously this amount plus these two does not equal this, so like what the heck happened? But then there was also savings, but I don't know, none of it adds up. It's driving me crazy and I've given up on it. So that's part of what I want to be changing for 2024 spreadsheet. But that's it. And then at the bottom here is just my sinking funds. I have not added to them because they're full. I have not pulled money from them. They just sit there and exist, which I don't want to talk about them every month anyway. So those, probably not going to talk about them again. But that's it on the monthly. Now, really quickly, we've popped over to the year sheet, year at a glance, if you will. And this is just too much for me. I want to fix this for this year as well. Like my assets, like this is too bulky. This is way too much going on for me. It's really bothering me. But the important thing here, look where we ended November with net worth. Like October, we were like, yeah, we're finally in the positive. And then November, was just like, poof. And that was my 401k. Like it decided to stop sleeping. I don't know what the devil was going on through here. But then it really popped up, as did my Roth, a little bit. But they were big. I was like, wait, what? It's almost a $5,600 net worth increase in 1 month. It's power of investing, right? And yes, I know I'm not super heavy on the retirement accounts, but they will be useful and I will be so happy for this money when I am 65 or older, whenever. But in the now, it's pretty cool to see this number. That means my assets are just this much more than that damn student loan balance that I owe, which is amazing. And this is conservative as well. I don't talk about it much, but this, where am I? Rental number 1. This is just the value of its most recent appraisal value minus what I owe left on the mortgage. I bought this home, closed on it early 2021, and since then it has doubled in value and pretty much hung there. I have not got it reappraised. Like that's just stupid. I don't care. But I'm still using the old appraised value of when I purchased it. So the reality is my net worth is about $40,000 more than what my spreadsheet even says, but I'm just keeping everything conservative, and it's like an ace in the hole, or like that card in the back pocket kind of thing, right? If I ever needed to access some liquidity for whatever reason, or some equity to pull from if shit hit the fan, I don't know. It's just like a nice something to have in the back pocket, right? But I'm just like, that increase is just bananas in the best way, obviously, in no small part to all of you. But yeah, so I'm gonna change this around. I don't know, some of these annual expenses gotta go. I don't even use all this business. I do, and I will keep my paycheck forecasting. I think that is the one thing that is absolutely, it's kept me out of the ditch. It's kept me consistent, and I will continue paycheck forecasting going forward. And what I mean by that is just, I get paid bi-weekly, and so I just take my take-home pay from each paycheck, roughly this amount, and then subtract out what bills are coming out during that 2-week period, as well as half the rent. It just gives me a forecast of how much do I think I'm going to be able to save from this paycheck, and how much. So for this one, next paycheck, for example, I'm predicting I'll be able to set aside $300. And then after bills are paid, I will have roughly $322 to operate from for that 2 weeks. So that's gas, groceries, shopping, vet, whatever comes up spending-wise. I have an idea of what I'm able to spend that week comfortably without having to pull from savings or use a credit card or something. So This is so handy for me. It just helps me have an idea of what's okay for spending, what's not. So I do want to keep that. And then, of course, down here we just have our student loans, each one of them, all 26. But that can go at the way bottom because we don't care. Just kidding, I care. Love student loans. Okay. Thanks for watching and listening to me rant about student loans again. Really trying not to do that, but so pretty good overall for November, especially when I realize that my gas is totally covered by my employer when I do field work. It's been a lot less on the experiences spending. Obviously this summer, you guys know, I was really enjoying myself and just actually having a summer after my job for the last 5 years where I was just always working. I just took time to enjoy myself. I gave myself leeway, which for me is camping and concerts and things like that. And that just naturally slacks way off this time of year. My spirit is a grandma, and so I just like to be warm and indoors. I don't like to be cold, so I don't go out and about as much this time of year. So that helps the budget as well. One of these days I'll figure out what I want my budget to look like for the new year. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.